Cherie Glenn, Charlotte Football Insiders. And Matt, give me your take on Mount Island at Berry.
Mountain Island at Berry, man, it is hot Monday evening. It's going to be hot Friday night. That's my first thought. So hydrate. Start hydrating now. So Mountain Island at Berry. This is a very interesting game. So Mountain Island is a 1A team led by Robert Washington. Very good 1A team. A lot of athletes, a lot of guys that are being recruited, such as Elijah Burris, Gabriel Stevens, big-time recruits. Amari Filial is a very talented young man. Going over to take on Berry, who's coming off a 21-0 loss at East Meck. That was a big win for the Eagles. So, of course, the first thing is Berry's got to get that offense going once again. And, I think they have a really good scheme. I saw their JV team last Thursday night get a win over Berry 18-0. There's a lot of talent in that program. For Mountain Island, biggest thing is they've stepped up and they've played bigger teams. They played Providence Day this year and lost 17-0. So they can compete with these guys. I'm sure they're coming in here thinking that this is a game they can win. And they want to beat teams like this to show that they're a program that even though they're 1A, they can compete with some of the bigger schools in the Charlotte metro area.
Talk to me about Central Cabarrus at Providence.
Oh, man. So Central Cabarrus had that tough loss week 1 where Hickory Ridge came back and beat them 27-20. But otherwise, they've been rolling. Coach McClamrock and those guys, one of my favorite schools to visit. Really good kids up there. Of course, DeAndre Boykins, the big star player, being recruited by everyone in the nation. A 4-star player, according to Rivals. I think he should be a 5-star. He's just that dynamic on both sides of the ball. And then Providence, they played Myers Park last week. Tough game. Tough loss to Myers Park. It's a rival game. But this is one of those things where you can't let a big loss beat you twice. You got to bounce back. You're playing at home. You're going to have a good crowd. And then just come out and try to execute the things that coaching staff wants you to do on both sides of the football. I think you'll see a better game out of Providence this week. But Central, they're really clicking right now on both sides. And should be a good ball.
All right. How about Olympic at East Meck?
All right. So Olympic, tell you, big win last week, man. 29-28 over Independence. What again? They got out big on Independence. Independence came back, and then they were able to drive, take the lead 29-22. Independence scored, made it 29-28. Very late in that game, they went for 2. They came up with the 2-point conversion stop, and that's what allowed them to win that ball game. Now going over to East Meck, we just saw East Meck shut out Berry, and that East Meck defense is real. They held Providence down for the vast majority of their game week 1. They played Kell tough for a while. They're not a team you can sleep on. And this is one of those games where if you're Olympic, you're coming off a huge win, and you're going over to East Meck, you look at their record and say, okay, well, we got this. We're rolling right now. Don't sleep on these Eagles. They are a senior-led team, especially on defense with talented players. This is going to be a tough ball game for Olympic if they don't come ready to play.
All right, how about Gardner at Hopewell?
All right, so Gardner, I'll tell you, both of these teams, they're kind of both in the same boat right now, struggling a little bit. I guarantee you, both of them are looking at this game and like, okay, this is where we're going to get right. We're playing a team that hadn't been playing too well so far this season, trying to make some changes and see what's working and what's not working. But I think this is going to be a good game. I think there's some good talent on both sides. I think Gardner quarterback Barry Truss will be back. I know he got banged up a little bit against West Charlotte. Usually, not that I know or anything, but a couple weeks off. He's got some time to heal. His injury. Hopefully, be ready to go. And then Hopewell has some time to acclimate to new offensive coordinator Jonathan Grice, what he wants to do on the offensive side of football. So I think both teams are kind of getting back in the swing of things, had some time to work on some stuff, and I expect both of these teams to play well this Friday night.
Okay. How about Independence at Kell?
Isn't that your alma mater?
That is my alma mater.
And it's also our CFI game of the week. So, we chose this game because we feel like this is going to be a really, really good game. And Independence was in a really, really good game last week, as we just talked about. Obviously, last week they got into a 22-0 hole, so they want to come out quick, get off to a better start. Kell is going to challenge him. I think Kell is a very well-coached team. with a group of seniors that are leading that team very well. You saw in some of our coverage, especially in the pregame hype video, I tried to put in there quotes from those seniors when we visited them earlier in the preseason. I think there's really good leadership on both sides here. I think Independence, of course, offensively is very strong. I think Archie Kell on defense has some playmakers. I think the key is the other sides of the ball, the Independence defense and the Archie Kell offense. Which one can consistently execute what they want to do on both sides of the ball? And if that happens, I think that team's going to be victorious, and we're going to be there to watch it. I'm very excited to be at Archie Kell. It's going to be a great environment for sure.
What are your thoughts on Kings Mountain at West-Meck?
All right, so Kings Mountain, very talented team coming from Cleveland County, led by Greg Lloyd, who's former head coach at East Gaston when East Gaston was making runs deep in the playoffs. The biggest thing with Kings Mountain are athletes. Now, the good thing is West-Meck has athletes, especially on the defensive side of football. We saw those athletes in action when they shut out West Charlotte. So it's not going to be anything that I don't think West-Meck hasn't seen before, but I think Kings Mountain's offense really executes with good precision, good timing in the passing game, really good schemes in the running game, just an overall very good team from the Cleveland County area. And then we saw West-Meck, really have a good game against Gardner in their last game. They're 2-0. They're at home once again. Confidence is rising in the program, but I think they take a step up in competition now, and we'll see, how they answer the challenge. If they're able to compete and defeat the Kings Mountain, that's going to say a lot about what West-Meck has going on over there off Tuckasegee Road.
All right. Talk to me about Malik Creek at Gaffney.
Oh, man. What a game. What a game. First off, have you ever seen Gaffney Stadium?
No, but I heard about it.
Yeah, Gaffney Stadium is incredible. There's, I believe, a video on YouTube. You can go on there and check it out. The last time we saw Gaffney was when they came up here to play Harding a couple years ago. Harding defeated them. Yeah, 35-28. That was a great environment, great game. The fans will pack that stadium, and I hope, Malik Creek will get a good following from Charlotte to come down there and support them. With Malik Creek, of course, last week, everyone was kind of up in arms when they saw, them struggling a little bit with Rocky River, but they turned it on third quarter. And they just came out in the locker room ready to go, and they ended up making that a big win, 63-21. Games like that, sometimes are a wake-up call and they're a lesson. And I think that's how they're going to treat that game right there. And they're going to come out the gates, firing all cylinders, I feel, this week. Going down to an environment like Gaff, you can't help but get fired up. And just within their own program, they want to play better. And they want to show people they can consistently be the team that everyone believes they are.
How about Myers Park at South-Meck?
All right, so this is a traditional rivalry game, of course, with Myers Park. Putting up 63 points last week. A lot of those in the first half. I think it was a 56-3 lead at the halftime. Wow, what an offense. Of course, we know all the names over there that the usual suspects with Drake May and Moose Muhammad and Porter Works and all those guys, just balling out so well. Going into South-Meck, this is a game where, of course, you look on paper, South-Meck struggling, Myers Park has been dominating their competition. If you're Myers Park, you want to go in here and work on some things that you haven't really been so happy with so far. And I don't know what those things are. That's on their coaching staff to decide that. But you want to work on those things in a game like this. Get better at those because you're going to need those things down the road. Of course, with South-Meck, we say it every week. They're still trying to build. They're still trying to, do what their coaches tell them and, instill pride into that program. You don't look at the scoreboard in a game like this. You take, small victories and, getting the stops in certain situations, getting a third 3 and out. Those small victories that add up to big victories down the road. So if you're South-Meck, that's what you're looking for.
And how about Rocky River at Harding?
All right, so just a cheap plug right here. If you're going to Harding Friday night, it is Harry P. Harding night. So Harry P. Harding was the original school name up until 1993 when the school changed to Harding University High School when it became a magnet. So Harding is honoring, the Harry P. graduates. So 92 and back, come on out. Still looks the same. Anyway. All right, on the field for Rocky River, of course, they had some positives coming out of that game last week with Malik Creek. I think some people are aware of how talented they are and some players that can really step up and do things. The biggest thing for them is now they have to realize that, Harding is not necessarily a pushover, and they can't rest on what they did. They got to build from it. So, a situation like that, you got to make sure you're going the right way. Of course, for Harding, last week you were there when they lost to West Charlotte, 30-23. What were your thoughts?
I felt like Harding, they went into that game sleeping on West Charlotte. They didn't expect them to come out the way they did, and it ended up biting them in the butt at the end of it. Harding is a good football team, and they've proven that they outscored their first two opponents by 123-14, if that tells you anything. So they're not, a terrible team, but they had a lot of mistakes in that game, and they've just got to come out ready to go on Friday.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of athletes on the field on both sides. I mean, there's so much talent there. I think both teams match up well with each other. When you get a game like that, like we say before, it comes down to execution. And like you said, the mistakes last week, turnovers, penalties. You can't have those on either side. And whichever team executes better, protects the football, that'll be the team that comes out victorious on Friday. Thanks for watching.